Okay, guys, we're back. Last half of the first hour with Mr. Bob Chapman, theinternationalforecaster.com. That's theinternationalforecaster.com. Mr. Chapman, while we were away, I got a couple of IMs here, information that questions that needed to be asked. Number one, Mr. Chapman, sir, all my family thinks I've lost my marbles since I only buy gold coins. I take my money out of the bank, or I have taken my money out of the bank. I'm buying freeze-dried foods per your request. I buy other dry, long-term storage canned foods and dried foods. I have water filters. And just in general, sir, I believe that there is a huge, huge storm coming. I've tried talking to my family and friends to wake them up, but they think I'm listening to kooks and crooked shysters on the internet, and that it will all end like in 1999, 2000 with the Y2K scare, leaving me here holding on to worthless gold, dried food, mining stocks, and being a blooming fool. Mr. Chapman, do you have any suggestions or any ideas how I can wake awake these idiots?
Well, it's pretty tough. You know, I've been doing this for 50 years, and the upshot is that I've converted 1 out of 100. And when you're talking with your own family, they listen the least. And the reason why is they know you so well, and they say, well, I didn't think about that, and so how can he know that? So he can't know that, so I'm not going to listen to him because he shouldn't know that. And that's really, it's an ego problem more than anything else. Sometimes it's stupidity, but usually it's egotistical. Now, if I were to go to dinner at your family's home, and there were 12 people there, and people started to ask me questions, they'd say, well, gee, yeah, that is possible, isn't it? And so on and so forth. They won't believe you, but they'll believe me, an outsider, maybe because I'm an expert. And you may tell these people that I don't get paid anything by anybody except the subscriber. And I certainly don't get rich on that. In fact, the money that I do have, I usually use it to help poor people. But the point is, I'm not a shyster like people would think I might be, and there are shysters out there, believe me. There's a lot of bad people in this world, especially in the investment field. And but you just got to work at it, and the best thing to do is have them listen to the programs which are archived, because this is real. This is now. It is happening, and if they're not going to listen, that's okay. You're just going to have to feed them later. And if you don't want to do that, well, that's up to you.
Yeah, I heard that. I need to interject before I go on to my next comment from Mary and questions. Mr. Chapman, I want to be honest with you. I know for a fact that you're out there in cyberspace having to relocate in places around the world, basically because, ladies and gentlemen, some of you new listeners don't know, Mr. Chapman has been digging deep with his gold-plated shovel or his solid gold shovel with the truth, digging up the shysters in the financial industry around around New York. He's been in the financial industry for over 50 years. He's uncovered fraud. He is basically the whistleblower, and aptly appropriate is he is the financial gladiator out there bringing forth information and truth. And I know for a fact, I've heard from a couple of Marines who have gotten information from him, and they've used it, and not advising him that they knew me, but just to see how far Mr. Chapman would go in giving them aid for free. And they got tons of information from me and were embarrassed not to have said something that they had heard it from my show after they had received so much information for free. And 2 of those men have, of the 4, have literally saved thousands of dollars in the last couple of years.
Invalid option.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know Mr. Chapman is an honest, godly, God-fearing man. he and his wife are living outside the United States, not because they really want to, it's because there are powers in New York that would like to see Mr. Chapman in a pine box somewhere. And he literally is got the knife thorn in their side. So you need to stand up and talk with your friends and your neighbors and look at what the crooks, the shyster financial advisors have been doing. Just yesterday, 11 more in New York were arrested, 11 more analysts, 11 more financial advisors. They were basically financial advisors on the idiot box, CNN, MSNBC, MSN, all the big players, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News. These guys are crooks. These are the real shysters. They're not telling you the truth. They're telling you what the networks want you to hear. They're massaging you. They're trying to get you to go out there and buy another bottle of champagne and some Russian caviar and a New York Coney and a 6-pack of Coors beer, i.e. a 9-course dinner. So you need to wake up. And you need to understand, Mr. Chapman does this from his heart because he believes in liberty. Not freedom, in liberty. And he knows the difference between the two. As a former military man, as a former resident living around the world in major countries, he speaks several languages. Do you not think that this man is out here doing something for pay? He comes on this show for free. He doesn't get a dime. Only you guys out there can subscribe to the show. And not to my show, but subscribe to his newsletter. Now, I have a question now that I've got my tirade out. Mr. Chapman, what is your best advice for those of us with limited funds and means, and are gold coins the best bet? And if so, where should we purchase them from?
Well, first of all, you got to take care of the fundamentals first, which are the food, the filter, and a method of defending your family. Hopefully, each and every one of you has an assault rifle, as it's called, and 10 extra 30-shot clips with 1,000 rounds of ammo per weapon. And once you've got that aside, then you can consider doing investing. If you want to start in coins, you can start in fractional coins, $265 for a British sovereign. There's all kinds of other smaller coins, such as the German mark and the French roosters and the Swiss franc. And then you have the American gold eagle, which is approximately an ounce. We have American silver eagles, and of course they go up in prices as more gold in them. I have a couple of dealers that I recommend. Anybody who wants to get a dealer, all they have to do is email me at theinternationalforecaster.com, and we'll give you the names of the people who are in the business of selling coins or shares. If you want, we can get you a stockbroker. We receive nothing from them, and believe me, I send them so many people, they wouldn't dare do anything they're not supposed to, because they wouldn't want to lose the enormous business that they get from me for nothing.
Yeah, and here's some kudos to you. Thank you, Mr. Chapman, for your candor, for your assistance, and obviously your honesty.
I try my best.
I heard that. Now, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, you heard him correctly. 1,000 rounds of ammunition, 10 clip magazines, 30-round clips if you can get them, and they're available. My extra per take here, and Colonel, I'll ask that question. Just give me a second. Is to, if you're in and around the state of Virginia, drive into Virginia at one of the gun shows. They require no driver's license, no identification. Go to the gun show and you can pick up your ammunition, your 30-aught KA, known as a assault rifle. If it shoots more than 6 rounds, bolt action, it's an assault rifle. So be knowledgeable on that. Understand that you definitely need to have your water filter to where you can get any kind of water and drink it specifically rainwater, if at all possible. Learn how to build your own siphoning system. And ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to have a question from a Fulbright United States Marine Corps colonel who has recently returned from Iraq. He is Betty's husband, and he has just been promoted to the full bird rank, having obtained the lieutenant colonel rank in Afghanistan 3 years ago. The colonel is asking this question, Mr. Chapman, or making a statement. Mr. Chapman, you hit the nail on the head with the Gold Sovereign. We in the United States Marine Corps have 4